Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Sunday, October 23, 2022, and giving you our match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Los Angeles Lakers vs Portland Trail Blazers. The Lakers have been awful in their first two games on the offensive end of the floor. The combination of Nunn, Westbrook and Beverley finished a combined 1 for 25 from the floor in the loss to the Clippers Thursday night. We're still seeing Los Angeles having to rely too much on James and Davis, which was problematic last season as injuries took a toll on the team. Portland, despite being in the middle of what seems to be a rebuild, has won their first two games of the year, including an impressive win over Phoenix in their previous contest. The Trailblazers, led by Lillard, have been a nice surprise in the opening week of the season. Having Nurkic back in the mix is a boost for Portland, while Simons and Grant provide other scoring options for the Trailblazers. They have more cohesion than the Lakers at this point, and after watching the Lakers play miserable basketball in their first two games, you have to lean toward Portland here. Our team pick is Portland Trailblazers for the win. Surprisingly, the Los Angeles Lakers are second in the entire sport with 108.5 possessions per 48 minutes with a veteran roster, while the Portland Trail Blazers are 22nd in the NBA with 98.9 possessions per game. On the offensive side of the floor, neither team has been able to shoot the three throughout the beginning of the season, as the Trail Blazers are shooting 36.8% from distance, while the Lakers are dead last with just a 22.4 three-point percentage through their first two games. Los Angeles is not built to knock down three-pointers, and that makes it a lot more difficult. Go with the under 224 points. To hit in this game, as it seems to be the better play throughout this game here. Atlanta Hawks vs Charlotte Hornets. As I documented, the Hawks have one of the best backcourts in basketball in Young and Murray, and both have played well out of the gates. The last thing the Hornets needed in this matchup was to be missing both of their projected starting guards. Ball has already officially been ruled out, and it is unlikely that Rozier will be able to go. As a result, the highly undermanned Hornets should be stung by a Hawks attack that was already one of the league's highest scoring teams last year and now adds Murray to the mix. Through two games, Atlanta is shooting 48% from the field, and that trend will likely go up against the defensively challenged Hornets. Collins should also have a good night against the undersized Charlotte frontcourt in this matchup. Look for the Hawks to stay perfect in this one. Take Atlanta minus 10.5 points. Even though Atlanta should be significantly better defensively this season, both these teams like to play fast, and the Hornets still don't have a roster that is likely to be strong on the defensive side of the ball. Hayward is a player who has struggled defensively in the NBA, and he is getting extra minutes with ball still out. The Hornets don't have LaMelo Ball right now, and the team also didn't bring back Miles Bridges after his arrest last season. Even though Atlanta should be much improved defensively this season with the addition of Murray, the Hawks still like to play fast with their smaller lineup that is the undersized Clint Capella at the 5. This game is also the second game of a back-to-back for both teams, and fatigue usually impacts teams on defense more than on offense. Take the over, 228 points. New Orleans Pelicans vs Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz went 49-33 last season, but after losing to the Dallas Mavericks in 6 games in the first round of the playoffs, they decided to start rebuilding in the offseason. The Jazz made 2 blockbuster trades in the offseason, sending Donovan Mitchell to Cleveland and Rudy Gobert to Minnesota. Utah is now loaded up with draft picks in their future, but entered this season with an over-under total of just 24.5. The Pelicans are off to a strong start after beating the Nets 130-108 and Hornets 124-112. New Orleans has 4 players averaging over 20 ppg this season, led by Brandon Ingram, 28 ppg, 8 rebs, Jonas Valanciunas, 22.5 ppg, 15 rebs, and CJ McCollum, 21 ppg. Then, of course, there's the return of Zion Williamson, who has looked good so far, averaging 20.5 ppg and 70 rebounds after missing the entire 2021-22 season. In Friday's win over Charlotte, the Pelicans only shot 8 of 22 from 3, 36.4% from 3, but hit 86.5%, 32-37, from the free throw line. Valanciunas led the way with 30 points and 17 rebounds. The Utah Jazz are averaging 127.5 points on 46.9% shooting and allowing 114 points on 46.8% shooting. Lauri Markkanen is averaging 20.5 points and 8.5 rebounds, while Jordan Clarkson is averaging 19.5 points and 5 rebounds. Colin Sexton is the third double-digit scorer, and Malik Beasley is dishing 1 assist. The Utah Jazz are shooting 40.9% from beyond the arc and 71.2% from the free throw line. The Utah Jazz are allowing 29.1% shooting from deep and are grabbing 48.5 rebounds per game. The New Orleans Pelicans are averaging 127 points on 48.2% shooting and allowing 110 points on 45.2% shooting. Brandon Ingram is averaging 28 points and 8 rebounds, while Jonas Valanciunas is averaging 22.5 points and 15 rebounds. CJ McCollum is the third double-digit scorer, and Zion Williamson is grabbing 7 rebounds. The New Orleans Pelicans are shooting 41.7% from beyond the arc and 80.6% from the free throw line. The New Orleans Pelicans are allowing 34.3% shooting from deep and are grabbing 57 rebounds per game. I like what I have seen from both teams so far. The Pelicans will be playing their first home game after 2 strong road performances, and the Jazz have won outright as a 6.5-point dog to Denver and an 8-point dog to Minnesota. The Jazz have several solid role players who have been playing hard and have messed well thus far. Although the Pelicans look like a dangerous team, I will take the dog instead, laying the points this early in the season on the favorite. Utah looks a lot better than expected, and with a balanced group of capable players like Colin Sexton, Mike Conley Jr., Malik Beasley, and Kelly Olynyk with something to prove. I like Utah to cover here. Our team pick is Utah Jazz plus 7.5 points. Jordan Clarkson led 6 Utah players in double figures with 29 points, 10-17 FG, and 6 assists. Lauri Markkanen contributed 24 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists for the Jazz. The New Orleans Pelicans have a healthy Zion Williamson and are expected to make plenty of noise in the Western Conference this season. On Friday, New Orleans raced out to an 11-point lead after 1 quarter and cruised to a 124-112 road victory against Charlotte. The Pelicans, 2-0, out-rebounded the Hornets by a 53-37 margin and outscored them 62-48 in the paint. New Orleans Jonas Valanciunas led all scorers with 30 points on 8 for 11 shooting and grabbed 17 rebounds. Brandon Ingram added 28 points and 7 assists for the Pelicans. New Orleans Jackson Hayes, left UCL tier, has missed the first 2 games and is listed as questionable for this contest.